Let me do the kidnap story now. And then we have two just weird local stories that I've been kind of clinging to this week. Let me get Christina on the phone. And we're only going to use her first name because she's still shaking over this. So let me get Christina on the phone. 727.
Is that her real name or her pretend name?
No. Christina is her real first name. We're just not going to use her last name. And Christina is the niece of one of our sales assistants. Christina.
Yes. Hi, how are you?
Hey, Christina. It's the MJ Morning Show calling live. It's me, MJ, Roxanne, Froggy, Fester, and we're live as we agreed to last night. How are you this morning?
We're doing good. I actually have Crystal here with me.
Oh, wow. Okay, so Crystal was with you when the incident occurred.
Yes.
All right, guys, I'm going to let you tell the story. What this is these two, if you don't mind me asking, Crystal and Christina, how old are you guys?
38. And I'm 33.
Okay, 33 and 38. And you guys were exercising together. You're on the Courtney Campbell jogging path. All right, go ahead and tell this. When did this happen?
This happened on the 10th, so Tuesday. It was at night. We had spent the day, jogging on the path, walking, and just enjoying the weather. It was nice out, and then it started to kind of get late, and Crystal had to go to the restroom. So we had searched to see how far the nearest bathroom was, and it was like an extra 20 minutes to go forward so she can go use the restroom, and then it would have been another 40 minutes, hour or something to go back. So we had decided to go forward, which made us a little late coming back. We had not seen any signs on the parking area saying that we had to be out by a certain time or anything like that. However, on our way back from the parking lot, or back to the parking lot, we saw a police officer, and he was trying to, lock up the gates over on the Courtney Campbell by the boat ramp area and stuff. So we're so we're like, okay, we need to hurry up and get out. The policeman police officer ended up leaving, and we were just walking forward. It was just us, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this black sedan comes up, and it just suddenly stops. And we just look over at each other, and we're like, okay. And then the windows start rolling down in the back seat. There were two men in the driver and passenger seat, and then there was a woman in the back with a hijab on, and we could hear a kid screaming, and we couldn't see the kid.
Wait, the kid was under the hijab?
They were making it look like she was breastfeeding, but the sound of the crying was like of a 3-year-old. Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't like a breastfeeding infant. I got you. Hey,
No.
Crystal, Crystal, are you in the same room?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so you guys get really, because I think you're on speaker, get really close to the phone, okay?
Okay, sorry.
All right, go ahead.
So as we're looking around our surroundings and we're seeing that there's no child there, we're hearing the screaming. The woman asked for directions on if we knew how to get out of the parking lot. And I said, I think there's an exit right over there, and pointed to the direction of the exit. She goes, oh, no, that one's locked. And I was like, oh, well, then I'm not sure. At this point, we start walking forward, and I go into my fanny pack. I pull out her phone, my phone, and I get my taser out just in case, because the men are, talking under their breath to each other and making this eye contact with her and them. The lights in the car were on, and then we see his hands start to go towards the handle, car handle. Car door.
Oh, so you see one of the guys he's about to exit the car quickly toward you?
Yes. Both of them. Yeah.
Oh, wow. But hold on. Both of them were making a move to grab their handle to exit the car quickly?
Yes.
Oh, man.
So at that point, I look at Crystal, and I said, Crystal, run. And I start running, and she is still in shock, so she's just standing there at that point, and then they slam their gas down, and they go in reverse. Heavy reverse. Yeah, heavy reverse right after us, and then I turn back. I'm like, Crystal, run! And so she starts running with me, and then out of nowhere, this red car comes from under a U-turn from under the bridge area,
Yep.
and he ends up parking. Well, he's not parking. He's like right behind the black sedan. And the sedan is forced to stop. And then this part, Crystal remembers more. I was running, so I'll let her say.
All right, so Crystal, pick it up from there. Get right on the phone, okay?
Okay, so he was running and vomiting, and I'm keeping up.
Hold on. So Christina is throwing up?
Yeah, I was scared out of my mind at this point, and because they had slammed it into reverse. And then she remembered the red.
Yeah, something's wrong here. I mean, the fact that you had a kid you couldn't see underneath clothing in the back seat that's screaming. You got two guys that go to grab their door handle simultaneously to get out of the car, and then you guys run, and then they slam the car in reverse, and I mean,
They almost hit the red truck behind them, and I could see. I stopped, and I was going to ask for help, but then I thought about it, and I was like, no, probably not a good idea because they might be working with them.
We had no idea. She could see him start to yell.
But he was yelling at the driver because he almost got hit, and I could see him like shooting hurt signs and stuff like that. So I was like, yeah, bad idea. So I just kept running.
All right, so finally you guys get away, correct? So how far do you get away? And at that point, did you feel like you were safe? And then did you call 911?
Yeah, so we get away as we go up towards the top. The trail is like in section, like it has like a space between it.
Yeah, again, this is along the Courtney Campbell Causeway. This is the jogging path, right?
Yeah, this is the jogging path right next to it. So we run up to the Courtney Campbell. So I'm like, I want people to see me. Like I, want to be visible.
Now, what time was this? Was it becoming dusk?
It had just got dark because we were just barely, like maybe 30 minutes late because we had to go to the restroom.
Right.
That's why the restroom part was important,
Yep.
And so we're like 30 minutes late. We didn't know that they were going to lock up or anything.
All right, so did the car finally take off, the black car with the 3 occupants? Did they finally take off?
Yes, after they almost hit the red truck and there was a white sedan that came right behind the red truck, they went into drive. They leave. Her and I run, and at that time, I'm still getting sick and running and just trying to get away.
She kept screaming, call 911 for me, for us. Kept call 911. And at that point, I don't know why, but I had a brain
fog. She was like, how do you call 911? I was like, you pick up your phone, you press 911 green.
Man, it's like
it's
like that dream where like you're trying to run away and your legs don't work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so do you remember it was a black sedan? Do you know the make and model? Did you get a license plate number?
We did not. At that point, we were just running
Wow.
because we were just scared. So we didn't get the make or model. We knew it had clear windows, no tent, and it was a black sedan and a red truck, and then a white sedan came behind the red truck.
Well, I wonder if they weren't trying to kidnap you. I wonder if they were trying to, like, hurt you.
Maybe.
I wouldn't put it past, and I believe that they probably have done this before.
Hold on, a little. You believe they probably have what?
I believe that they probably have done it before.
Wow.
I wouldn't put it past them.
All right, so you called 911. Did a police officer come out to meet you?
We were on the phone with she was on the phone with 911 for 14 minutes, and we still had no cop. And at the same time, as soon as it was like 1 minute into her calling 911, I called my mom to let her know, like, hey, we're up at the Courtney Campbell, and we just had to call 911, and I tell her the whole incident.
So you guys wanted to tell the story. I know that you put a pretty extensive Facebook post out, Christina, to just inform people, be careful, black car, Courtney Campbell, because you feel that you felt in imminent danger.
Yes, because they came back. So when I'm on the phone with her, they end up coming back. My mom's at the arena. She ends up getting an officer over there. They send out a car to us within 5 minutes, while 911 took 14 minutes, and we still didn't have a car. Their car did not even arrive until after the car that my mother sent for us.
Which agency? Was it Clearwater Police?
Tampa.
Oh, so you were on the Tampa side, so it was TPD.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Wow. So
it took all that time to get there. As soon as the cop gets there, the car had left because the car had came back, and they were staring at us, and they...
Hold on, the car came back, and now they're leering at you?
Yeah, so they were staring at us when they drove by. Then they went and parked their car right next to Crystal's car, which is the only car left in the parking lot.
Oh, my
and
God.
turned off their lights.
This is like a horror movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then finally when the cops come, I'm like shaking my hands and stuff, which I had been doing that the whole time. And the other cars, nobody was slowing down. Nobody was like trying to help.
But the black car, then they finally left again?
Yes, they ended up, by the time the cops got there, they had left. We think they went the wrong way to get out.
Okay,
on the
gotcha.
other side.
All right, and then you didn't see him again. They left, and unfortunately, the cops arrived after they left.
Yes.
Oh, wow. What did the cops say? Did the cops say that they've heard about this, or what did the cop actually say to you?
He looked concerned. He didn't really say anything. He just wanted to get the information, but he definitely
was concerned and
very concerned.
He took us. He asked us, "Is it okay to give us a ride back?" And we were like, "Yes, please." Like, we are not walking back there.
Yeah.
And so he took us back to the car, and he said that he was going to look into it. I did see a lot of cops on, the highway afterwards. So
Yep.
I'm thinking maybe they were looking around for them.
Yep.
So that makes me feel a little better.
Yep. So I'm sure that TPD, once they were able to get there, and listen, you're on the Courtney Campbell Bridge, and it's not like you instantly have an officer right there. They had to get a unit there.
Yeah.
All right.
Exactly.
Well, guys, any last words? Because this is a kind of a spooky story. Any last thoughts?
Just be aware of your surroundings.
Yes, definitely. And if you're having like an instinct like feeling, you go with it. Your gut feeling's always right. And I'm glad that I went with mine and I just ran because we're here. We're talking to you. So I think
who knows what they were planning or what the story was. But Crystal and Christina, thanks for sharing the story. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, guys, stay safe.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
They could have put them into like trafficking and something like that.
Sex
Sex trafficking.
What could it have been? It wasn't just one weird thing. There were just too many weird things, and then both guys reaching for the door handles to get out at the same time, and she said, run, and then slamming the car into reverse. I mean, there's just too many. Roxanne, what comes to your mind?
Oh, I mean, I'm always scared of stuff like that. Basically a shut-in because I'm constantly afraid of
You're a shut-in.
Gotta keep your head on a swivel.
kidnapped. Yeah.
Active self-protection.
I'm not trying to make light of it, but yeah, that's something I have daughters, so I constantly worry about.
Hey, anybody listening, do you have an interpretation? Anyone that just heard that story, do you have an interpretation or any thoughts on what was happening here? They thought that maybe they were making a move to kidnap them, or could it have been they were trying to hurt them, or some type of an assault? If anyone has any other angle or any other thoughts on this, let's grab a couple of calls here if we get anything of substance. 800-990-1047 is how you get in. Got a couple of additional weird local stories I want to get to here in just a moment. So hang on. But let me see if we can drum up any calls with anyone that has any clue, any idea what could have gone on here. I think Roxanne's getting pounded on the text line right now. And, of course, call us at 800-990-1047 if you got some thoughts, some insight. Do you have a theory? 800-990-1047. What are you getting on the texts?
Oh, I'm getting pounded with sex trafficking.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's what Froggy said that.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it sounds like. And there was a person and the kid, and nothing makes sense here. It's a very scary
how do you
situation.
have a kid that couldn't be seen underneath the garb?
Yeah, would they have like a radio of a kid crying,
such
trying
a
to lure
scary-
you in?
Yeah.
And I'm happy that she was carrying some kind of protection. She said she had a taser.
Yeah, she had a taser. Yeah.
I mean, it's not much, but it's something to scare somebody or to buy yourself some time.
That's what they're saying. The baby crying was probably a fake recording to distract them from what was really going on.
Oh, man. Yeah, wow.
Very.
Because they couldn't see a kid. How do you hide a kid who they think sounded like a 3-year-old underneath like the whatever the dress or whatever the muumuu this lady was?
It was her cell phone.
That's just weird. Or maybe playing a sound off her cell phone. Who the heck knows?
Creepy, man.
Oh, man, look at the calls that are rolling in. All right, let's grab a couple. Let me start with Nancy in St. Pete. Nancy, you're on the MJ Morning Show.
Hi, guys. How's everyone?
We're doing well. Go, Nancy. What happened?
Okay, so when I'm always weary of my surroundings because when I was 19, I was kidnapped.
You were kidnapped when you were 19? Where?
In Puerto Rico.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow, what happened?
So I was walking down the street, and there's a truck door open, and there's an alleyway. So I looked inside the truck as I was walking by. The guy came out of the alleyway, grabbed me, and put me in the truck. So there's a bar, a wood bar, that I couldn't get out of the truck.
Oh, wow.
So he immediately put my head down on my leg and told me, don't move. And then he moved over and started to drive. Well, I don't know where I got the strength, but I grabbed his hand. I took it off my neck. I sat really, really close to him because it was a box seat, and started talking to him about God and about Jesus. And I know you have a daughter. I know you're not going to do anything to me. That man was so tired of listening to me, he dropped me off.
Get out of my car. This kidnapping is over. Oh,
Yes,
wow.
He was like, and I am so grateful for that.
Oh, Nancy,
I
wow.
don't know where I got this strength.
What a story.
Always be careful of your surroundings.
So you were born and grew up in Puerto Rico?
Actually, I was born in New York. I'm a New Yorican,
A New Yorican, yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
Well, Nancy, thanks for listening to the show. Tell 3 people a day to listen to us, okay?
Absolutely.
Thank you, Nancy. You know what I just thought of before I go back to phone? So Christy, Pauline, Gloria, Nadine. Oh, wow. Christine's mother's on the phone.
Oh, wow.
Look at the screen. All right, hang on. We're going to go back to phones in a second. Do you know what this reminds me of a little bit, or at least the story that that Nancy just told us? Do you remember the beach park story in South Tampa about, I don't know, 6 months ago?
The daughter?
The Plant High School senior.
Yes, the young girl.
There was a Plant High School student, a female, going out for a jog, and a white van in South Tampa off of West Shore, like West Shore and Sylvan Ramble area in South Tampa. A white van stopped and tried to pull a young girl, a young woman, a Plant High School, like a junior or a senior, into the van. And another neighbor saw what was going on and ran and chased them away. But it seems that there was almost an abduction of a high school kid, a girl in South Tampa, about 6 months ago. And remember, we had the mother on the air. Remember, she told us the story. Wow. All right, let me grab Nadine, and then I'll go back to the other calls. Then we got to move on. We got a lot of stuff today on a Friday. Nadine's in Seminole. Now, Nadine, you're the mother of Christine, who just told the story with Crystal.
Yes.
Well, welcome, Nadine, to the MJ Morning Show.
Thank you.
Well, go ahead.
Christina called me during the middle of it when Crystal was on the phone with 911. She called me at the same time, and I was working over at Amalie Arena during one of our events. And the way she was talking, and she turned around and she says, Mom, they're coming back. They're coming back. And she was very frantic, and she started crying and throwing up at the same time. And all I could tell her was, you need to run as fast as you can.
Yeah.
Get up top where people can see you. Get from down below. And in the meantime, I was running across the compound to the police officer and letting her know what was going on. And Christina was able to, while she was running, Google her exact area. And the officer took a picture of it, got on the radio, sent it to the other officer, and they were there within 5 minutes.
Wow, what a story. Well, listen, I'm glad that your daughter Christina and her friend Crystal, I'm glad they're okay. What a harrowing event, harrowing story. So, Nadine, thank you for calling in. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right, have a good one. Let's grab Pauline in Apollo Beach. Pauline, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hi, good morning.
Morning.
I was hearing the show.
Yes, Pauline. Did we lose Pauline?
Oh, call back. Sounds like she has something good to say.
Yeah, hang on a second. Let me put her on hold. Oh, hang on. The phone just came back, I think. Pauline, are you there?
I am.
Okay, yeah, you dropped out. Go ahead. Start from the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah, we're having trouble. Hey, hang on a sec. Andrew, can you manage Pauline and see if we can get her on a different cell? Try to get her back or dial her back on one of the hotlines. Let me grab Christy in Spring Hill in the meantime. Christy, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hi. Yeah, as a security guard for a long time in my life, I just want to tell women, when you're out and you see a vehicle that has no windows or something that looks fishy to you, even if it doesn't mean like it's going to be the person that attacks you, it's good to snap a picture of the license plate, get a little description of what the vehicle's like. I mean, they couldn't do it at that moment because it caught them off guard.
Yep.
But you always take a picture, you try to send it to somebody and say, look, if something happens to me or somebody else in this park.
Hey, listen, Christy, excellent advice. And let me tell you what I do. I'm in the neighborhood all the time. I walk 20 miles a week in my neighborhood, 2 miles every night. I walk 5 miles on Saturday and Sunday each. So whenever I see a suspicious vehicle, and I've got a good intuition, I do. I'm probably one of the most prolific ride-alongers with the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. And listen, you kind of you notice, you kind of get educated. When I see a suspicious vehicle in my neighborhood, I always take a picture of it, and I get the license plate number just in case something happens.
Good. That's what I do. And they say for if you have a weapon, if you ever pull it out, no matter what it is, a gun, a knife, you have to be ready to use it, Johnny on the spot, because somebody could take that from you and you could get killed with your own weapon.
Wow, Christy's like ninja caller here. All right, Christy, thanks for calling.
You're welcome.
Have a great one. We got Pauline back, hopefully on a better line. Andrew called her back. Pauline, MJ Morning Show, go ahead.
Good morning.
Much better. Go ahead.
I wanted to share a situation that happened to my daughter a couple years ago. I live in Apollo Beach, Florida. It's considered a pretty nice area, right off of Covington Garden Drive.
I'm aware. I've heard of Apollo Beach.
Yep, it's next to houses, that go up to the millions. My daughter was jogging right before the street lights came on. She had an 8th grade graduate shirt on, an 8th grade graduate, because it was June after her 8th grade year. And she was jogging because she actually swims year-round. She's an athlete. And she was actually being watched by a gentleman. We didn't know that. And luckily, our neighborhood all had Ring cameras. And so she actually called her friend, and she said, there's somebody that I see that's making me feel kind of creeped out. And her friend on the phone was like, you need to turn around. You need to go home, jog home. And so while on the phone with her friend, this person had somehow planned to be behind a tree, and he had actually jumped out from behind a tree and attacked my kid, who was like 5'5", maybe 110 pounds. Oh. And here's the thing that I want to emphasize. I've been working in mental health for 15 years. I have warned my kids from like 3 years old. You stay together, watch out for the white vans, you don't cross the parking lot, without being aware of your surroundings.
Be careful the clown in the sewer.
Seriously. I actually used to live in Bangor, Maine. So, yeah.
Oh, man.
I've been. So I was very, I felt like they had a lot of stranger danger, that sort of thing. When she had this happen to her, she actually trusted her intuition. She felt the butterflies go off. And when he grabbed her from behind and covered her mouth and her throat, she fought like a demon. And the reason I know that is because I saw the Ring cameras. You can literally see the square of her phone.
When did this happen? A couple of years ago?
A couple of years ago off of Covington Garden Road between Lake St. Clair and Waterset. And she beat the crap out of him.
Wow.
Beat the crap out of him.
Did this make the news?
But no, we actually... So this is what I wanted to share.
Wow, go ahead. Oh, no, we losing Pauline again? We need some better cell towers out in Apollo Beach.
Right.
All right, Pauline, are you there?
I'm still here.
Oh, okay, you dropped out. All right, quickly, tell us the final point.
So the final point is this. Working in mental health, unless somebody's actually hurt somebody before and been convicted of it, they can actually be called not competent to be punished, not competent to be guilty.
Yeah.
And that's what happened to this guy. He had a mental health issue, okay? And he was not able to be even charged.
But he's a danger to society. Hopefully they institutionalized him, or did they set him free again?
No, they set him free.
Oh, son of a... Yeah.
And so that's what I wanted to share. There's a lot more people with mental health issues and sex trafficking. And this is Apollo Beach, which is a pretty nice area.
It is, yeah.
You would have expected this to happen here. And I work in mental health. I work as a counselor. And I can tell you for like every, 50 people, at least one person might have a mental health condition that might contribute to that kind of impulsivity.
Pauline, great story. I'm sorry it happened to your daughter, and man, she did fight like hell, it sounds like, and got away.
Yeah, so that's what I wanted to share is like, she could have frozen, and that would have been okay in mental health, that it happens. But I would say you fight for your life. You fight. If there's a possibility you can get away, fight for your life and get the heck away.
It's like the woman in the gym. Remember that story a few months ago?
Yeah.
The woman in the gym who the guy you just watched.
Yes.
She fought that guy.
That gym in downtown that locks behind her and the guy kind of snuck in the door.
And she went all ninja on him. Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. Yeah.
Pauline,
I know that to my daughter, and I'm like, you know what? This is what you need to tell your girlfriends. This is what you need to, just remember. Unfortunately, she's still stressed about that. But what kills me is that she had an 8th grade graduate shirt on. And what is wrong with people?
Yeah. Roxanne, you had a question?
I was just going to mention, Pauline, that's such an important message for your daughter that she fought like hell. And I've showed my kids videos of a story we covered on the MJ Morning Show about a little girl who was abducted. Her abductor tried to take her off her front porch in South Florida. And you see the video of her fighting. And I'm like, this is what you have to do if anyone tries to come at you. Aside, obviously, run is the first answer. But yeah, that's amazing that your daughter did that.
Pauline, thanks. Give props to your daughter for us. And thank you for listening and calling.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. All right. Andrew, should I grab the last one here? Yes? All right. Gloria, quickly. Final call on this. Gloria, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hi, how are you? I was calling because I was, when I was listening to the story, I'm like, they have a little kid that is probably not a child. Maybe they were trying to hurt the girls, thinking they saw them take a little kid, or just trying to get like a 3-for-1 deal and grab 3 people instead of 1.
Yeah, but we don't even know if it was a real kid in the car. No one saw the kid. It was just weird.
Yeah, and I'm like, you wonder if there was a kidnapping also around that time, and they thought that the girl saw something, or they just figured the kid would be the excuse that they could get the girls near the car and grab them. And
any way you slice it, weird all the way around. Gloria, thanks for the call. Wow. From the original story, from the 2 women we had on, the niece of one of our employees here with the scare on the Courtney Campbell, to Pauline just calling in with her daughter's harrowing event. Wow. That's unbelievable.